There we go. Okay, we are recording. Excellent. So welcome everybody again. Dr. Barry Burns here with Top Dog Trading with Gary Odom, the designer and the programmer for the Top Dog Visualized Trader. And he's going to be presenting this software to us, explaining it to us, its features, how to use it. And that'll probably go for about 45 minutes to an hour. We just ask that you allow him to do his presentation during that time and hold your questions until the end, but he'll hang around at the end and answer any questions you might have. The one exception to that is I will say if there's something he's talking about and you have a question about that very topic right at that moment so that you don't really understand or you have a burning question about exactly what he's talking about at that instant that you'd like answered before he moves on to something else, feel free to go ahead and type it into the questions box. And if I see several people asking the same question, then I'll interject with Gary and say, hey, we've got a number of people asking this particular question about what you're talking about right now, and then I'll leave it to his discretion if he wants to go ahead and address that, maybe clarify, or if he wants to hold the question until the end. So that's it. I'm very excited about this. And Gary Odom, welcome to the webinar. Thank you for creating this amazing study that I've been using now for several months and really enjoying, and I've made a part of my trading arsenal personally. So, sir, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Burns. First question. Can all you fellows hear me? What are they telling us, Mr. Burns?
Okay. Yes. They are saying they can.
Great, great. I never know how loud I come across, and I just want to make sure that everybody's picking up what I have to say. I really appreciate you allowing me to show you my study and explain how it works. I will tell you that this is a true work from love of wanting to do it. I created this study for me. Some time ago, Dr. Burns found out that I had it. He approached me about offering it to other people, and that's how that happened. But it was really created just for me to trade. Matter of fact, I knew I couldn't remember the date. So you're seeing my screen now, I take it. This is the very top part of the manual that you get when you acquire the study, and the very first line on there says who I am, and the date that created my life-changing experience was Monday, November the 14th, 2011 at 6:05 p.m., and that was the day that I downloaded Dr. Burns' Top Dog Study Course number 1. That started me on my journey to changing me from a typical retail trader to professional trader. In other words, I do it for a living, and I do it consistently. I am retired, but I'm making more money now than I did when I was working. So I guess I'm not retired. In any case, after some months of working with the study as it was, with the methodology as it was originally presented by Dr. Burns, I began to sense that there was a lot of room for subjectivity. And being the kind of person that I am, I tend to overthink things. So I needed something to make it much more objective. And that was my mission in developing the study. It leaves me no room for doubt when the energies are going my way. And a way to prove that is, I know that you've heard a lot of people talk about different trading systems and trading methodology, and they roll back and do what they call back testing, which is kind of a lie, because it's not back testing. You already know what the future is going to offer, and they'll pick some places that works out the way they want it to work out. Well, I can back test too, except I can't cheat because it's already marked. When I go back in time, it's already marked. I can't tell you what I would have done or wouldn't done if the signal is not there. So, and when showing you how I trade it, you will be able to do that. You will be able to go back as far as you want, and you see that those signals were valid. And that gives you a lot of encouragement when you start trying to trust them, because that's what I'm going to ask you for. I'm going to ask you to develop a level of trust, and that will make you a better trader. Well, let me begin from the beginning on explaining the study. Dr. Burns presented a little video in his initial offering, and frankly, if all you had was the video, you could trade it. It is just the basics, but it's enough to make it happen. And for those of you who did not see the video, I'll run over some of the initial points. The study actually presents two things on the screen. Please ignore this average spread business. This is basically an ATR. I'll show you how you can get that absolutely free later on. You'll get boxes across the top of the screen, which really, it tells you which way the energies are going. You see this big stream of green boxes, so obviously we are bullish across the board here, whereas on the shorter chart we can see that we're not bullish at all, that things are pretty much turning down. The idea is to get these energies to line up across the chart. Now there's different ways you can do it. You can do it just by looking at the box colors, or you can use the little arrows, which are in tune with the boxes. When you get all 5 boxes, you'll get an arrow. That is adjustable. You can turn it to 4 boxes, and I will tell you that could mean 3 boxes. It's because of the way it works and the rule of negative numbers. My suggestion to you is just don't change it. Leave it on 5. Your trades will have a much higher probability, and why fiddle with something that works? All right, now let me just kind of let's see, we can work with this, what we have right here. All right, let's just say that this was presented to us at this time of day. This is actually closing information of the day. And we have, you see the little arrows, which are lined up on the middle chart, and it is lined up pretty much on the longer term chart as well. I detect signals off the middle chart. I'll tell you a little bit of charts and chart times. What you will or will not use is up to you. I prefer longer chart times. The longer a chart time is, the more reliable your signals are going to be. But on the other hand, the less frequent will be that you get a signal. This particular setup is a 3-hour. Well, this is weird. It's supposed to be day. I guess I was playing with it today. You notice we still have a signal. It doesn't make any difference. This is a day, 2-hour, and 40-minute chart, which is a 3-to-1 ratio. When I detect a signal on the middle chart, I check the longer chart to see if it's supported. It is supported. Then you can refer to your shorter chart just to determine if you want to enter it. Now you'll notice there is some negativity going on here with this red price bar. Some people would be concerned about that. Frankly, I'm not. And the reason I'm not, I look at this as an advantage to get a little bit better price in an entry. I know that I have support and good support on these 2 charts, and many times I'll enter a trade there, it'll go down a little bit, and it'll end up coming back up. As a matter of fact, I have a trade in the works right now, and that was this Lamar advertising. It went down to as much as about $103, I guess, and then it turned and started coming back up. These trades are actual trades that I make. I'm on my live platform. There's no paper trading or net business that you're going to see from me tonight. This is a special little setup that I have for doing trades for testing and being able to display what has happened without revealing my whole account. Today I made $260 on these little trades. Year to date I made $1,654. I try to average $100 a day in this little account, and it works pretty well. Some of the bigger accounts, I mean, the other studies I have the other accounts I have much longer term trades in it. The only one here that's been here for a while is this little Altria. I've had that for a couple of years, and I made $2,700 in 2 years, yet in the last 11 days I made $320 on it. And it has a lot to do with the condition of the market, because this was not a trade that I made recently. Going back to the charts, the longer time periods tend to be more stable. And this would have been an entry for me, and I'm going to put this Lamar up on the screen in just a second. It would have been a trade for me, and I would consider it a good trade, and buying at a lower price than if I'd bought it on the peak of the bar. That's the way I trade it. Dr. Burns does a couple of things differently. Sometimes he will take a signal, and then he'll look on the other chart and see if it follows a positive signal and considers that a continuation of the energies. You certainly can do that. There is no hard, fast rule about what you must do. But what you do have to do is you have to build a trading plan, you have to put it in writing, and you have to follow it. I don't care exactly what the rules are. If you use the arrows for energies, because that's what we're plotting, and you have positive energies going your way, that's great. If you don't want to trade on an arrow, this one has so many arrows I can hardly find a place where you, for instance here, if there was a signal that would give you support on a longer chart, and you had to use this position here, this green candle here, it follows an arrow, so it's still positive. You don't have any negative movement to your energies. You could do that. I don't. I line 2 arrows up and go with it. Now I'm going to put this Lamar up I was telling you about just to show you how it backs up on you. Let me get it up here. I entered a trade here. It backed up on me down here. This is my stop that I put in down here where it's red. I put this line. I knew that there was a support area there. I didn't expect it to break that support area, and I discerned that by looking at the previous tops and bottoms of the candlesticks, and I knew that as long as I stayed above that, I was going to be in good shape. And it did. It came down and it's headed back up, and this will end up being a good trade. And I'll be looking for a new high on this particular wave as it goes up. Before you make a trade, I encourage everybody to go to their longest chart and look and see what the general condition is of the trade environment. As you can see, Lamar's been going up gradually. It's not a real aggressive stock. So I never expected to make a lot of money off of it. It just looks like it's going to run for a while. And if I look back, it's pretty much in virgin territory. It's making new grounds. So that's an indication of a strong stock in this market that we have. Convinced me that was good enough for me to take the trade. Now, something's going on the screen here that's might kind of confuse you, because it's just watch list, and everybody can build a watch list, right? And you just put whatever symbols you want in your watch list, and you keep track of it. Well, I cheat. I don't put anything in my watch list. I let my computer do it for me, and actually it's a function of the trader and how I can use it to do scans. And this is a result. This morning and all afternoon, we were loaded up at red symbols, which is obviously pretty much a bearish market. Yesterday, I had all red symbols, only 1 or 2 symbols in the bullish side. In the afternoon, the whole market switched. Had hardly any bearish signals and a lot of bullish signals. You don't have to go anywhere to find out what the market's doing. Just look at your watch list, and you'll notice every one of them will have trade signals ready to trade. I'm not saying that you need to take these trades. I'm saying they will have trade signals ready to trade. And I'll explain a little bit about that. Newmont, frankly, you could take this trade. It'd be a great trade. It would have been even better if we had a signal at this point, but you notice we don't have one over here. Wouldn't that be great? But I can't take that trade. And the reason I can't take that trade is my personal trading rule says I need support from the longer chart. Had I taken that trade, would I have been in trouble? No, not at all. I've been doing quite well. But you have to trade with your trade rules, whatever they are. Do not deviate from them. But today would have been actually about 11 o'clock or 9 o'clock would have been your best entry point. And that certainly lines up, and everything would have been easy to detect. And we go to the next signal, and this one may be a little long in the tooth. If you start counting your waves, we're out there a long ways. It's up to you to decide whether you actually want to enter this trade at this point. What the trades that I try to make whenever possible is I try to make them when there are these kinds of situations where price is coming across the 50 and I start getting signals that line up. That way I know I have the highest probability of having a decent run out of it. Now you have to wait longer for those, but patience truly is a virtue in trading. I'm going to take a pause here and I'm going to ask you to type in your chat box if everything is going okay so far. Are you following me? Is anyone having any difficulties?
Okay, Gary, this is Barry. I will read you some of the questions and comments coming in. A couple of them I can answer real quickly, but okay, let's see. One question is, why does the smaller time frame say the trend is up but the box is colored red? That's because he's not scrolled all the way over to the right. He's showing some past history. So the box will show what's happening on the hard right edge of the screen, but he's been scrolling back and forth. So that actually, oh, it does say trend is up. Yeah, but the box is red. Well, that's actually an interesting question.
Yeah. Okay. That happens often once the market closes.
Oh.
It's not having data there to update. Don't really be concerned about the color after market. Just read the words. The words are always right, but the algorithms that's written to make the color change, you have to have an active market.
Ah.
Well, you don't have to have an active market, but sometimes it will not roll it over in aftermarket.
Aftermarket.
This will not happen during the market.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Well, that turned out to be a different answer than I realized. Okay, very good. Okay, Ryan asked, what is the charting app?
What is the what?
What is the charting app?
Charting app?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the question, what he's asking me.
I'm not sure either. Ryan, the charting software platform is Thinkorswim, and the study that that Gary has created is called the Top Dog Visualized Trader. And it only works on Thinkorswim, which is through TD Ameritrade. Okay, Ray has an interesting point here. I don't know if this will help or not, but he says if Gary would change from price level to pointer in the lower left corner, it would make it easier to see where he is speaking about versus using a small pencil icon.
Is that what you want?
I don't know. Try it and see how that looks. See if it's easier. I mean, I can follow fine, but
I didn't even notice it. To me, it's all the same, but I'll be glad to put it as a pointer. That's what I have now.
Yeah, you've got the pointer now. And let's see, he says make, let's see.
Here's something else I can do.
Pointer. No.
I'll just blow the stuff up bigger on each individual screen.
Yeah, you know, I think that would be good. I think that would be helpful. Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's coming across. It looks fine on my monitor, but I have no idea what it looks like on the other side.
Looks good to me.
Okay, this will probably be better.
Oh, looks fine to me, and you've got your crosshairs all aligned. Okay. Brian asked, are the watch list scans built into Visualize Trader? He'll get to that later. We will be talking about that topic.
Very good question. That's where I'm headed next.
But yes, we will get to that. JW says he's having connection problems on his end. Is it being recorded? Yes, it is. The recordings don't always go great, but we are recording, so hopefully it'll turn out well. Laura says, Gary, can you please show moving charts? Oh, I'm wondering if the arrow, okay, not really because the market's closed, but she has a good question here. I'm wondering if the arrows print at the beginning or the end of each bar. If at the beginning, do the arrows flicker as the signal changes, or do you only get an arrow after the bar closes? Thank you for the clarification.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
The answer is yes to almost everything. Actually, it's not a matter whether it opens or when it closes. It's a matter of when the mathematics meets the algorithm that's written inside the study, which means that the arrow could come on at the very open of the bar. It could come on in the middle of the bar. It could come on at anywhere, and it will stay on as long as those parameters are met. And if the parameters change, like say price backs up in the bar, the arrow can go off. And some people get concerned about that, but really, you know, if you just want to wait just a little bit and let the arrow settle in, that's fine. I don't even notice it when I'm trading. It's not an issue with me. But then again, I'm not trading a 3-minute chart, and it will happen much more often on the faster charts. And if that bothers you, and considering you're trading a 3-minute chart, I think you could probably take the candle after it without losing too much ground. But regardless, it will flicker more on the shorter charts. It doesn't flicker on the long charts.
Yeah, it does. And just like Gary said, because I've been using this now for several months, and Gary uses it on longer term charts like you can see here. I also do that, but I also use it on very short term charts. So for example, I've been using it on the NASDAQ E-minis, and I use a 200 tick chart, a 600 tick chart, and an 1800 tick chart, and it's working great intraday using those very short-term time frames. And we've got a bunch of people who have asked similar questions. Does it work on the S&P E-minis? Does it work on Forex? And the answer is yeah, it works on any market.
It'll work on anything you can chart.
Right, anything you can chart, absolutely. And I've tested it on that stuff. Let me see if there's any other common questions. Some he's going to be getting to, like we got a bunch of questions about the scanner, but he's getting to that. Also, a lot of people are asking if there's any plans to create this for NinjaTrader or TradeStation. Not at this time. It's possible, but if we do, it won't be for a while. We just are launching this, and it's a big project. So if we do, you know, we'll let you know, but right now there's no plans, so I wouldn't hold my breath.
I'd actually like to comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
I have investigated, as a matter of fact, I'm in contact with NinjaTrader right now.
Oh.
The scripting department wants to chat with me, but I think we're going to have a problem with them because the features and stuff that's involved with Thinkorswim are just simply not available in some of these other trading platforms. They're great platforms. I mean, they're very popular. NinjaTrader, MetaTrader, there's a lot of folks that use them. But the ability to do scans inside of TOS, you know, you don't have to go to ThinViz to do your scans. It's all built in. And there are a lot of other folks who may have it all built in, but this one allows me to actually incorporate the TD Visualize study in the scans so I can scan for actual signals. And that's pretty powerful because we're talking about thousands upon thousands of symbols out there. And a good trading program, a good trading methodology is great if you can find the setups. And how do you find those stocks where the setups apply? I mean, you know, what do? You build a wish list or a watch list. I call it a wish list, that you wish that the signals would match. And what if you don't? How do you get a trade? And that's what was killing me before. Yeah, I had something making signals, but I didn't have the right symbols to look at.
Right.
So we developed a scan to go along with it, and it works great. It will supply you with every symbol that you scan that's ready for you to take a look at.